gonna keep ducking till we finally shine. Indeed, I keep them ducking, baby, time after time. I said it's getting hotter. Out that flame I came, they try to stop me, straight up block me through that pain I've gained. A newer way, pursue my rays, look, I don't cry no more. I just load up my mind and let my grind go show. Cause I'm locked in, every single day I be locked in. Focused all the way, man, I'm locked in. From the time I wake, I be locked in. I don't need no break. Okay. Let's play. Okay. Let's play. Sorry, ain't no conforming. They'll know when I come for them. They don't know what I'm forming. They get low while I'm soaring. Ain't nothing about abnormal. No, he abnormal. Bad for you, ask for who downs I shout. I'm asked for you. No debate, I flow grade 8. Luckily they with me now. Sit back, watch a procreate. I spit raps that'll go through hate. Stay focused on your biz and don't you ever focus. Stay focused on your biz and don't you ever focus. I'm locked in. Every single day I be locked in.
Phone lines are open. Phone lines are open.
Man, I'm locked in. From the time I wake, I be locked in. I don't need no break. Okay. Let's play. Okay. Let's play.
What's good, y'all? The phone lines are open. They are open. So really the only thing I have for you that's on the ticket is I want to hear what you guys think. The topic is, the Ravens off-season free agency plan. We know we have this conservative plan, and I want to know if you guys agree with it or not. Matter of fact, let me throw it up here real quick. Give me 1 second. Let me throw the thumb up here.
We know we have this conservative.
All participants are on hold.
Let me throw it up on this side. Then we'll get to the phone line. We got one in already. Yeah, this is it right here. So is it genius or is it insanity? Our conservative approach to free agency, and really just going to take calls and see, what you guys think about it, and whether you guys agree or disagree with the plan. And that's what we're going to do, man. We're going to go from there. The number will pop up intermediately throughout the stream. I will, depending on how the calls go, it will lock at 7:20. But right now it says limit your calls to 5 minutes. But right now, if we don't have a bunch of calls, we can just talk and go from there. But first up, let's dive back into it. Let me get back on my main screen, and we can get on into it. What up, Quinn? Appreciate your donation, Quinn. What's good with you? I appreciate you for coming through. Let's get into it. Let's see who we got on this line today.
All participants are off hold. All participants are on hold. All participants are off hold.
Gotta mute all.
All participants are muted, and they can unmute themselves.
There we go. Now we're good. All right, now we're good. Now you should hear me now. Caller, can you hear me?
Well, can you hear me?
What's good? Oh, what up, team?
What's going on, Q? How you doing, dog?
I'm good. What you think about it? Is it insanity? Is it genius? Tell me why or why not.
As an outside observer, well, first of all, it's good to talk to you, man. Your family's in my prayers. You in my prayers, dog. Pray everything is all well with you. And all your endeavors, man. Oh yeah, most definitely, man. Oh boy, and we in Florida, so that's different. That's a different story for a different day, man. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna get right to the point, man. As an outside observer, I look at even if you look at what my Bucks did today, man, re-signing Chris Godwin, even though he came off injury. You know what I'm saying? Making sure to have. We don't have the quarterback that y'all have, but making sure that he has the most weapons as possible. Because they could have easily, since he's coming off injury, could have lowballed him. or not even brought him back because we got, young receivers and whatnot. And I contrast that with what the organization is doing for Lamar. You know what I'm saying? And it's I guess for me, I shouldn't be as emotionally invested, but I've been as following you on your content for some years. I kind of have a rooting interest in the team too, because I want to see him do well, because I love football. And it's frustrating seeing some of the fan base picking up the front office's attitude towards players and paying players. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like as if they've trained you guys not to be upset at them for overpaying for a middle linebacker, overpaying for a safety, but then you don't have no money to bring in weapons on offense. And so basically you're going to have double-digit cap hits for a player that's not playing, a cap hit for in Williams, a cap hit for Aguilar, a cap hit for Zeitler had a cap hit. Zeitler's cap hit on the Ravens was less than what the Detroit Lions paid him to play guard for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so how can you say? And to me, I'm just gonna be honest, because I know I was spamming Hendo yesterday on Twitter, but one of the guys who's very famous in Ravens flock on Twitter kind of pissed me off because they said name a player that's overrated, and he put Mike Evans, somebody who's been consistent, the record for the most 1,000-yard seasons ever starting a career, consistent, first ballot Hall of Famer. But I contrast with, I was like, well, you can argue that the Ravens organization is overrated, from the owner to the front office to the coach, because you got people saying that you got a top 3 GM. Really? Who has he drafted or brought in to truly build a championship team? He didn't draft Lamar, didn't bring in a number 1 receiver. You know what I'm saying? Devontae Adams went for $23 million, got $23 million a year to play for the Rams. They got Puka Nacua, who's a great young receiver, and they got Cooper Kupp. They said they're gonna release him. But let Ravens fans tell it, don't bring in somebody like Devontae Adams, because he's gonna take away targets from Zay and from Bateman. True. But then you got the MVP quarterback throwing to Anthony Miller in a playoff game because you don't have enough guys on your team to be able to make plays for you. Exactly. Make that make sense. So what side of my own? I'm sorry, Coach.
No, I was gonna say I think that. So this is where I'm at, and I think that what you're saying, I think I may have fell victim to what you're saying. And let me say where I feel, and I think the way you feel, I think I fall into what you're saying, if that makes sense. What I'm saying, I kind of didn't expect much to go on because I feel like we've overpaid in some markets. So I'm okay that we haven't done much because I know we don't have much money. So I ain't mad that we haven't made any moves because I know that we don't have money. But I also am. I understand we ain't made much money because we've been reckless with money in other areas. Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
It makes perfect sense. But I will push back to say that y'all don't have money. Y'all do have money. Everybody has the same salary cap. Mm-hmm. But the difference is that you have the money, but the owner does not want to spend cash. It's the problem.
When you do void, you have to put that money. You have to pay for that money to the bank right now. Correct?
No, you don't. But you're not paying anything.
Okay.
When you do void years, you're essentially So the way it works is that it's where they talk about guaranteed money. Guaranteed money on the contract
guaranteed money you got to put it in the bank right now, right? It's one of them you got to put money in the bank right now for that player. I don't know if it's void or guaranteed.
No. But that may be true. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying as far as how NFL contracts work, mm-hmm. whether you're so they can either pay you week to week, and that's normally the non-guaranteed money. That's the base salary, mm-hmm. or you get the signing bonus or the workout bonus. That's cash that they pay you right up front, or that's cash they pay you at the new league year, or that's cash they'll pay you. You know what I'm saying, or around the draft.
Gotcha.
If that makes sense. But the thing about it is, people think that money, like, you're not putting it on the credit card. You've already paid them. You've already paid that money in those void years. So you're just spreading out the money that you've already paid, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they're using the void year. So I think that's a misnomer that people have about the cap. You know what I'm saying? A cap charge is not money that's paid. A cap charge is actually money that's saved, that's not spent, if that makes sense, in that year, because part of that money has already been paid, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you another question. I'm trying to get the Ronnie stuff in front of me. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me see if I can find Ronnie's deal. Ain't nobody buying you,
I've
so
seen
good.
it. Okay, that's cool.
Raven salary cap. That's the dude's name. Salary.
You can either find it on there or overthecap.com, because that's where I use as well, because it has all the player contracts, and that's how I compare it.
Okay, let me see which one come up first. There it is. All right. Nope, that's the whole Ravens team. I ain't want the whole Ravens team. I just want Ronnie. Crap.
I'm about to pull it up on my computer too, because I got you. I had to mute. I don't want the feedback, so I took it off. So I don't want that to mess up the conversation.
And when I want him to have what I need, is this it? There it is. Okay. So he got the whole thing up there with Ronnie. I just wanted Ronnie.
Mm-hmm.
But I know he have void years. So my question is, with him having the 3 void years, so basically, let's just say Ronnie plays 2 years, and he played 3 years, and he decides to retire. And those extra 3 years that are on that deal, he'll just be at the house chilling, and he'll just be collecting that $4 million or whatever that money is that we owe him. Is that how that works?
No, that's not how it works. So what you do is you look at the bonuses. Mm-hmm. Okay. So what it is that, okay, you look at what he got guaranteed. So there's a difference between, and that's where they start playing with the numbers. Okay. There's fully guaranteed money. That's the $44 million, if that makes sense. So what they did was they spread the $44 million, instead of over 3 years, they spread the $44 million over 6 years. Well, 6 years essentially, from 2025 to 2030.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking.
And so what they did was right. So if you look at the first year, the base salary is $1.255 million, and the signing bonus is $5 million. And then you look at the cap number. Look at the cap charge. That gives you the cap number. You know what I'm saying? So you add the base salary, you add the signing bonus, and the option bonus gives you the cap number, if that makes sense. And so you notice over his first 2 years, the base salary is low, and then they spread the signing bonus over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what you can do is you add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 8, 12, 16, 18. That's the signing bonus. So that's what he got just to sign his name.
Gotcha.
So as soon as he signed his name, he got $18 million into his bank account. And those option bonuses are what's given, whether it could be right after the Super Bowl or it could be right after the league year, if that makes sense. And so what you do is, so what he'll get $1.225 million divided by over 17 games as he gets per game. But he already got his money, so he's not worried about what he gets paid over. You understand what I'm saying? And so when they say a player, so if you look at his base salaries from 2025, I hate to get it all complicated like this, but if you look at his base salary from 2025 to 2025 to 2026, yeah, that's all he's getting paid during the season. He's already got his money, so he will get another $4 million before the season starts, if that makes sense. And all he'll get during the season is 1.3.
Just for them first 2 years. So
no, the guaranteed money is all the signing bonus. That's what's guaranteed, fully guaranteed.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so now then you look at the base salary. The base salary is not any player's base salary is not guaranteed money.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's where when they say the team can say such and such against the cap, you're taking away the base salary, because you always add the base salary plus the signing bonus and whatever bonus that they get. That's what their cap number is, and that's how you get to that. That's how you get to that number, if that makes sense. Okay. And so if you look at the Eagles contracts, this is how the Eagles contracts look. That's why they're able to sign all of their guys. You understand what I'm saying? And so the difference between because as a Buck fan, at first we were like that to where we in the 90s and the 2000s we didn't give big signing bonuses. That's what Jerry Jones did in the 90s. He would give big signing bonuses because that's the only thing that was guaranteed. And it used to be the signing bonus, but then league started turning stuff into, okay, signing bonus, then you got fully guaranteed at signing, and then you got in guarantees, if that makes sense. So if you look at these option bonuses, he doesn't. Well, they put his option bonuses. So, I mean, he's going regardless. That's money that's going to be in his pocket. That's how you can kind of play with the cap. So in this case, they really wanted to keep Ronnie. So they're basically the owner's like, okay, that's why they say cash over the cap. So this year, Ronnie's only getting paid. He's only going to count $5 million against the cap, but he made, $18 million for signing his name. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the Eagles do. The Eagles, and that's why they're able to. Well, how are they able to pay all of these guys? Because the owner is willing to pay over the cap, if that makes sense. So you can, and so what the Ravens do? The Ravens are one of those. They're not one of the low teams like the Bengals, and they're not one of the high teams like the Eagles, the Rams, and all those teams that spend money. And the Chiefs kind of do it right now too. And the Bills are one of the ones that spend a lot of money against the cap.
So if we wanted to get a bunch of high caliber players, we need more contracts like Ronnie's contract.
Essentially, if you look at it, you can go if you go on the over the cap because has all the guys contracts. The Eagles, this is how they do all of their contracts because their owner has money. You know what I'm saying? He's willing to spend it, and they're in a window where they can win. And since they're in the window that they can win, that's how they're able to have two basically $30 million receivers and a $50 million quarterback. And interior line and all of that stuff. Same thing with the Dolphins. They're paying Tua and they're paying Jalen Waddle and paying Tyreek Hill. You're like, well, how are they? This isn't Madden. Teams can sign whoever they want to sign.
Right.
They just got to be willing to spend them. And the thing about it is that everybody's allowed to spend the same amount of money against the cap each year, but not every owner spends the amount of money. Spends the same amount of money, if that makes sense.
So my next question is, at some point, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, that's it. No. I don't want to be a dog. It's a conversation. Go ahead, ask your question.
No, I was gonna say at some point, because this is good. Like when you're in your window, at some point, this has to catch up with you. So how do you get out of this when, like, if you sign multiple players with void years? Because that means you have dead money when that player is not playing anymore. How do you get out of these situations?
Well, you don't necessarily even have to get out of it because the thing about it is you have a top 10 quarterback of all time. It's the same thing. Like people raise that same thing. If you look at Denver last year, Denver had Russ was like the highest cap hit ever as a team, $80-some million, but yet they still make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Buffalo, the same thing. Stephon Diggs was $30-some million against cap last year. They still made the playoffs. The key is being able to find good players, or you got a generational quarterback that can overcome that. If that makes sense. And but the thing about it is, Coach, as you know, like you coached as a career, you're a career footballer. You know that everybody's not trying to win. You know that everybody is not good at identifying talent. You know that every team can't coach and develop players. The majority of the league can't coach and develop players. And honestly, there's really no system to it because if there's a system to it, I was having this conversation with somebody earlier. If there was a system to it, everybody would do it. The majority of guys who play in the league are going to fail. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Now, the reason that they fail, maybe there's a twofold factor why they fail, is either coaching or you're not good at choosing players, if that makes sense. Where Harbaugh has been fortunate, y'all had an all-time defense that he got with multiple Hall of Famers on it, and then you got lucky to draft Lamar Jackson at the end of the first round, who's going to turn out to be a top 10 quarterback of all time. And if he wins a Super Bowl or two, he's top 5. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And so, but if you look at the draft record outside of Lamar Jackson, you got some guys that's hit, but out of all the picks that you have, it's not very good, if that makes sense. You can't depend on that because the majority of guys who come in the league, no matter if they played 3 years, 4 years, what school they went to, they're not going to make it. True. And so do you – I know it sounds like you got some more people. I'm not going to hold you too much longer. That's cool. So if you look at it, Lamar was on his rookie deal. You know, I hate to rehash it. Lamar was on his rookie deal. Tyreek Hill and A.J. Brown moved in the same offseason. You could have made that move for him, but you decided to pay Marcus Williams $17 million a year. You understand what I'm saying? You decide to, so they pick and choose what they're going to do. Even 2 years ago, the year that Brandon Stevens ended up playing the other cornerback position, y'all playing that y'all had no money, but he was going to find the money for Darius Slay. I don't know if you remember they were saying that
we sure were about to get Slay.
That Darius Slay was very close to coming to the Ravens,
Mm-hmm.
and they were going to find the money to pay him. They find the money to pay who they want. The issue is y'all are still trying to win the same way y'all won in 2000 and 2012. But the problem is Roquan Smith is not Ray Lewis, and as good as Kyle Hamilton is, he's not Ed Reed. You can't win that way. You know what I'm saying? And so when you look at it, what's crazy, like Ravens fans are they're your own Brandon Stevens. He's not that good. Brandon Stevens is a solid player. Did he play well in this system? No, but watch he go and be solid for them because he can tackle, he can cover. He just don't necessarily have good ball skills.
True.
But he's going to be solid in that system. And $13 million a year is the going rate for a starting quarterback, which he is. He started 17 games. He was durable and played most of the snaps. McCarr, the same thing, durable, plays most of the snaps. 13. That's not a lot of money for a player. $23 million for a 1,000-yard receiver like Devontae Adams, who gets double-digit touchdowns, is not a lot of money for a receiver. But y'all, it's the people that you guys spend money on. You think, oh, that's an overpay. Everybody's overpaying. No, this is the market rate for talent. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like Ravens fans got to get out of that mindset. Right. Got to get out of that mindset and spend the money, man. So it's just frustrating, dude, because y'all got an all-time talent, and y'all should have won more than 2 Super Bowls. With the defense y'all had in the 2000s, even though I still think the Bucs defense is better than y'all's, but that's a different story for a different day. And you talking about having a top 10 quarterback of all time.
So
and the best you can show for it.
Before I get you out of here. So just for clarity, for those that came in late, insanity or genius? The Ravens offensive approach.
I wouldn't say. Well, the definition of insanity is one of the definitions is doing the same thing and expecting the same results. So yeah, if you're going by that definition, then yeah, it's insanity.
Okay. I appreciate you, dog team, and I can't wait to
appreciate
talk to you, dog. on a more. I got to do more of these, man. I've been forgetting to do the call-in shows, and that's partly my fault. And I can't remember who mentioned the call-in show to me yesterday, but I'm glad they did because they put it back on my mind. So we'll definitely be having more of these call-in shows and may even do another one this week. So, man, I appreciate your dog team. And
that's no problem.
Can't wait to talk to you again.
I always have to tap in with you, dog. I appreciate you, dog, man. But y'all will be back in the game next year, dog. True, dog.
All right. Great first call, man. Next caller. And again, this show, I really don't have any content to give you. I threw that salary cap thing up there because we were talking about it. So this show is really just for you guys to talk to me about the salary cap issues and whether you think the offseason strategy is genius or it is insanity. Ing Raven in here. Appreciate you for coming through, Ing Raven. Appreciate it. Hey, Jose and Raven, you guys want to call in, please do so. But next up, we got my man Marcus. So come through, Marcus. What you got for me, Marcus? What's good? I ain't long time no talk to. What's good with you?
We're good, Coach. Everything good. Yeah, I think it's kind of insanity. We keep doing the same thing over and over again. I'm happy that we got Ronnie Stanley back re-signed again because I was hearing a lot of Ravens content creators were talking about life after Ronnie Stanley because he was an injured player. But he's the best left tackle on the market. Who is better than Ronnie Stanley at tackle on the market? Because even Tam Robinson is not even picked up right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then you was talking about people talking about we can move Rosengarten over to left tackle. When the last Coach, remember the last time we moved a right tackle to left tackle or left tackle to right tackle?
The dude from Pittsburgh that we picked up.
Yep. I'm thinking it's just a mentality of a lot of Ravens fans and a lot of, that got the personality of the team that they just could, just because we got Lamar, we could just do anything and have any old offensive line. And that's not smart. And it's funny because a lot of people always talking about, well, you look at the Super Bowl, Philadelphia defense. But if I last time remember, you could say the best defensive lineman in the NFL was Chris Jones, and he got shut down in the Super Bowl. I think he had 0 pressures, zero sacks, zero tackles, 0 hits. I think he went blank in the Super Bowl. So I feel like we just need, to keep building the offensive line and stuff like that. And like I was messing around with the little cap numbers. Like on Sports Rack, you could see who you could cut and stuff like that. Like, do people know that if we cut off in Monolette right now, we save $2 million for a backup slot corner? Why are we keeping a backup slot corner? That who been injured the whole year, but we got to keep him for $2 million, for $5 million when we could cut him for $2 million and save the cap. Or even with Dane Farley, you save $3 million, like nearly $4 million, if you cut him now, and you could get a guard. And so it's like you cut Dane Farley, you could get a better guard in the draft. Or there's plenty of other veteran guards that you can get on the cheap right now, because all the big money is gone now. All the big money people who's trying to get the big money is gone. Like tomorrow, everybody will get the minimum vet. Except I think if Cooper Kupp get released, I think he's gonna get his $18 million. But everybody else is not gonna get that much big money. So I don't understand of us just keeping players and stuff like that. I kind of disappointed. I was surprised that Chris Board got that money and Malik Harris. Right. Yeah, but that's how much show you that teams could actually feel like they could develop players and stuff like that. And
let me ask you this question before you go on. Which one hurt you the most, losing Boyd or losing Malik Harris?
They didn't really hurt that much. I would say for a fill-in person, I'll say Chris Boyd, because he do more with like the special teams. I mean,
I agree.
Yeah, Malik could stop the run good, but I think you got somebody like Tavius Robinson, who could play that same role, not the inside linebacker, but on that edge run-stopper role. So that's the only person I really think, with the Chris Board situation. And also I want to talk about the Mark Andrews situation, because I know people talking about should we cut him or should we release him. Only thing I would say, do you believe right now Isaiah likely to average 60 catches, 700 yards, and 7 touchdowns right now?
Yes.
As no one.
I think Isaiah likely could be 1,000-yard tight end. If they would commit and say, you're the number one guy, I think he could be a 1,000-yard tight end. I do, and I think he can block better with more effort than Mark Andrews. Because Mark Andrews will be out there and miss blocks and be like, he'll look at the tight end he'll look at the sideline and be like, why we call that?
Right.
I think he'll be a better blocker, and he'll give you more effort with yards after the catch.
Well, so do you believe Charlie Kolar is a 45 catches, 500-yard receiver with 6 touchdowns? Because that's Isaiah likely.
Okay, and I don't think Charlie Kolar is that. I think Charlie Kolar is the best blocker.
And that's the issue with me.
Let me finish. I think Charlie Kolar is the best blocker on the team. Now, I think Likely can overproduce as a receiver. I think Kolar can overproduce as a blocker, and depending on who you bring as a third tight end, you can make that production up, a la Aronde Gasson from Syracuse.
Right. But only
all this is ifs. So but my thing is, if you're gonna keep Mark, just let it play out. Just let it play out. Just let it play out, then let him walk. That's the least scenario. But if not, trade him and get you a 2nd-round pick. But you got to have somebody replace him as far as gonna catch the ball, because Kolar ain't gonna do too much catching the ball. But Kolar is your best blocker out of the 3 easily.
Yes, that's true, but that's what the point. Like this offense, the last 2 years, it's flowing because the second tight end has like basically a number 3 receiver type numbers. Mm-hmm. So if Charlie Kolar can't give you that production, there's no reason of like cutting Mark Andrews, because at least Mark Andrews could give you number 1 tight end production and number 2 tight end production. If you get cut his snaps back going on. and because this is the point I'm thinking. If you keep Mark Andrews, I feel like if you want to keep Mark Andrews, you should extend Isaiah Likely now.
Right.
Because here's the point you're going to have problem coming up next year. Next year, you got to sign Isaiah Likely, Travis Jones.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do
Kyle.
something. That's why I say this is why Kyle, Tyler Linderbaum. And that's why I say you got to cut Falele now, because if you cut him now, you're going to have to pay him next year too.
Marcus, they love that mug, Marcus.
So you going to stand Falele?
I'm not gonna.
That's what I'm
the
saying.
thing with me is I ain't gonna even waste my breath on Falele, because them mugs, they love Falele.
But Falele is, so you saying Falele going to get $13 million or more. So you're going to pay $13 million more for Falele, because that's what Pat McCarry got. Then you got to see what that.
But I just know they love.
So Pat McCarry got $13 million.
Marcus, I just know I don't know what he gonna command. And
he won't command.
Know they love him.
He gonna command big money. So that's why I'm saying, like, we holding people, like, you know, keeping people. We know we're gonna have to pay in the long term. Like,
what year is Falele in? Second or third? Second, right?
He probably in his fourth. He probably be in his fourth year next year.
This gonna be his fourth?
Yes.
Oh,
he came in 2022.
No, he got to go.
Thank you.
After this, he got to go.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. So why not draft a guard this year? Because you got no backup guard.
Yeah, I agree. He got to go.
That's why I feel like first round, even though people like you got Stanley locked up, I would go for a backup guard, get like the guy for Texas, or the guy I like is Donovan Jackson. I like Donovan Jackson because he played the left guard at a high level, and he played the left tackle.
From Ohio State?
Yes, because I saw his tape. Like, if you look at his left tackle tape for like he played against Oregon, Tennessee, and Notre Dame, they got good pass rushers, and he held his own there.
Yeah.
So I like that, you know, versatility that he could play left guard, and if Stanley get hurt, you could still got left tackle, and if you still want to move Rosengard to left tackle, you still could put him at tackle on the right side too.
I agree.
So that's why I like him, as you know. But I feel like the Ravens gonna get a corner or defensive end, like always, because they're all the pass rushing DNs is picked up. I think Reddick got picked up, Chase Young got picked up for like 15 mil. No, he got re-signed for 15 mil. So I feel like we're gonna go the defensive end route. I hope we get somebody that have production. I feel like the last few defensive ends we didn't get in.
We might be in that situation where we like our guys, because we got a bunch of bodies in that defensive end room. They just ain't produced like we need to. Let me ask you this one last question. I'll get you out of here because I got a few guys behind you. With the with the re-signing of Ryan Stanley in the first round, what position should be picked?
I would still get guard.
You still get guard? Well, with just offensive line, regardless of whether it's guard or not, just somebody that can play that position. So, whether they play right or left guard.
Yeah, the right or left guard, or either a tackle that could play guard.
Gotcha. So I don't want to cut you off, Marcus, but I got 4 more guys behind you.
I got one question.
Go ahead.
So because a lot of fans are always talking about Ravens don't go out there pay a big time receiver. I feel like we're gonna have an issue coming up next year too, because they're gonna be on his 3rd year and he gonna want an extension, and Bateman gonna have another breakout year and you gonna have to pay him. So you still, that's why I say you got to cut some pieces. I think even Roquan will probably be a cut piece next year, because you're going to have to keep these players somehow, some way. So let me get off the phone. Nice speaking to you, Coach. Let me hear what's your thoughts about that. About paying, got to pay Zay and Bateman next year.
All right. I appreciate you. Hey, breaking news. Breaking news. Let me put it over here. Breaking news, baby. Breaking news. Everybody been wanting this man. Everybody been wanting him. There he is. There it is, baby. Brian Pumper, put it out there. Breaking news, baby. Breaking news. Breaking news. And I'm going to bring somebody in to talk to me about this breaking news, so to speak. I'm going to get his raw thoughts on it. My man, you here with me? We got to break this news together. My man, Ing Raven is in the building. The Ravens signed
What's up, baby?
Nuke Hopkins. My man, Ing Raven is here with me. We got Nuke Hopkins. What are your thoughts on the Ravens signing Nuke Hopkins?
Man, I wish they would have done this years ago. I really, really do. I ain't gonna complain about it because he is short-handed receiver. I mean, well, not in that Super Bowl, but let's erase that from my memories. But he is he gives Lamar another presence, somebody that'll go up and get it, make the nice sideline catches and all that. A veteran in the room, he will know his. I can't even say he'll know his role, but I'm sure he'll have a significant role with the Ravens. I like it. It's cool, man. It's cool. It don't hit like it used to, but at the same time, I'm still good with it because it does significantly upgrade that room. Because when you think about it now, you have almost a 1A, 1B, 1C type of receiver room right now. And I think about before, like last year, the backup receiver, it was Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman as your 1A, 1B, and your third receiver was Nelson Aguilar. Sometimes it was Tylen Wallace. It could be even Anthony Miller like we saw in the playoffs. But now you add D-Hop to the mix. That makes your wide receiver room that much better. That gives the Baltimore Ravens offense somebody who just – this is actually who Lamar wanted, 2 years ago?
I think 2 years ago,
2 years ago he wanted DeAndre Hopkins. So Ravens a little late with it, but, again, better late than never. So I'm cool with the move. I like it.
I like it more so not necessarily the production he's going to give you, but the knowledge that he can input into Rashad Bateman. Rashad Bateman is at a point in his career where he is starting to be a really good receiver. He's already a route runner extraordinaire. And just imagine the little tidbits and the nuance that D-Hop, who's one of the all-time great route runners, could install in Bateman and make him that much more better. And just imagine, like when Zay went down last year, if it could have been Bateman and D-Hop instead of Bateman and Joe Blow off the street. I love him as a third receiver over Nelson Aguilar.
Right, I agree.
I love it.
It's a 1 year, $6 million deal. Oh, that's
peanuts.
Great. That makes me love it even more. That's
peanuts.
Peanuts. That's literally nothing, man.
Peanuts.
So I ain't mad at it at all. I like it. You've obviously still got Tez Walker, who's developmental, and you brought back Anthony Miller, who'll probably be on a practice squad. But still, I do like the move though. It's cool, man.
And Anthony deserves.
And then you still got the draft too, so you ain't got to be finished at wide receiver.
Exactly.
So you ain't now. You're not going to invest nothing crazy.
True. Now I know you got to cover it, so I'm gonna get you out quick before this happened. Before this happened, because you know time sensitive with us. The original question was the insanity or genius with the Ravens off-season plan. That's what the show was about. So what how do you feel our plan is? Is it smart? Is it stupidity? How do you feel about our off-season plan?
I can't call it stupid. Ravens have been operating like this for a long time, so I can't call them stupid. If they have been operating like this for a long time and they have been going every season 6-10, 5-12, or if they had a terrible record every single year, then I was okay. Yeah, it's stupid. It's dumb. They need to stop it. But I cannot call it genius either because while they have been having some amazing regular seasons and they've been getting better in the playoffs, they still got some more work to do. I can't call it genius either because they just need a little bit more to get over the hump. So I feel like their plan is their plan, but it does need some fine-tuning and it needs some tweaking. I feel like the Baltimore Ravens, a lot of times they like to play stuff extremely safe. They don't like to take many risks when it comes to grabbing talent, going for players and whatnot. They take, I guess, calculated risks, but I feel like that calculations can be off a little bit, and they could up the aggression a bit more when it comes to risk, when it comes to just adding more game-changing players to their team. Like you look at a couple of years ago, they did something crazy. They jumped out the window for the Baltimore Ravens when they signed Odell Beckham Jr. to a 1-year, $18 million deal with $15 million guaranteed. It's like, man, that's unheard of. Oh my goodness, they paid all this money to Odell Beckham Jr., wide receiver. They never do that. But Odell Beckham Jr. also hadn't played football in like 2 years.
Right.
Then there was even years back when they signed Dez Bryant. It was like, oh wait, they got Dez Bryant. See Dez Bryant throw up the X. But Dez Bryant, he hadn't played football in 4 years. So right. Ravens will jump out there sometimes, but they won't jump out there. The timing can be a bit off. So I just feel like the Ravens, they have a great core of players, especially when you look on every level of both offense and defense. They got, obviously, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry. They just brought back Pat Ricard. At wide receiver, they just added DeAndre Hopkins, already has Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman. Now, I do not believe that wide receiver is the reason that we lost in the playoffs, because it's not. But so they will find it. I don't have a problem with them, what they did there. I thought they could have done more, but I don't have a problem with what they did there. Then on defense, you look at their core. You look at Nnamdi Madubuike. You look at Travis Jones. Then you go to the next level of defense, Roquan Smith. They still got to address the linebackers because Trent Simpson got benched, and they lost Chris Ford, and they lost Malik Harrison too.
Malik Harrison.
Then you look at cornerbacks. You got Marlon Humphrey, Nate Wiggins. Nice. You still got to add to it. You just let go of Arthur Millette. Cool. But then on the back end, you got Ardarius Washington. We'll see what they do with him tomorrow. And then you got Super Duper Kyle. So they got a nice core of players. So it's not like you got to go crazy because you got plenty of good and some great players. But you just be a little more aggressive with playmakers. I think specifically, I know Ravens do a lot of stuff on defense. They're known for their defense. But they could just be a little more aggressive on both sides. As far as defense, they've been playing it super, super, super safe at edge because they drafted Odafe Away. Now, that wasn't safe because he was a project, but they drafted him in the first round, and he's finally starting to come along. It's been a little slow process, but hold on. Him and Rashad Bateman, they was drafted in the same year, right? I believe so. So, and both of them, it took them a while. It took both of them a long time to get going, but they're looking a lot better now. But he still got a ways to go. But they signed Kyle Vanoy. They signed last year, which I love because that's my guy, Jadeveon Clowney. But they play it very, very safe at edge. I feel like they could just jump out there for somebody there, and that could be a huge difference maker for their team because we haven't had like that guy at that position since Terrell Suggs. We just been missing him for a long time. They tried some different stuff and played it safe, but they haven't had that guy at that position since Terrell Suggs. That would be a big difference maker for the Baltimore Ravens. As far as offense, I just feel like a big body jump ball wide receiver, not a tight end. I know tight ends are different from Isaiah Likely is great. He ain't a receiver. Mark Andrews is cool, not a receiver. I would love if they would have got a downfield threat, big body wide receiver to complement Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman. But they got D-Hop, so it's not looking like they're going to go that route. But again, wide receiver is not the reason that they lost in the playoffs. But I just feel like they could have done more. So, again, to answer your question, I know I said like a million words, but to answer your question.
It's all good.
I could go forever. Especially we talk about these Ravens, man. I could go forever. But to answer your question, it's not genius. It's not stupid. It's far from stupid, but it's not. It hasn't made it to the genius level yet. But they just need a few more tweaks. So it's good. It's in the gray area because you're obviously not successful enough.
I feel you. So I appreciate you for calling in, man. I know you got to go cover this what's happening and get your video out. So I ain't gonna hold you too much longer, man. I appreciate you for calling in, man. I thank you for your time, and I'll definitely be looking forward to your overall thoughts because I know you just gave us the summed up version of the breaking news. So when you put your video out, I'll be there to check it out, man. I appreciate you for gracing us with your presence, man, and I'll see you.
Appreciate you, man.
See you soon. Matter of fact, appreciate you.
Appreciate you as always.
Hey, much love to the family, man. Tell my boy Carter I said what's up.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Appreciate it.
Much love. All right, that was Ing Raven calling in, man. I appreciate him for coming through and gracing us and giving us his opinions on the Ravens, whether it's insanity or whether it's genius, their draft process. So next up, we got. Matter of fact, let me close this. We got 3 guys left. Let me lock this. So the
conference has been locked.
Is locked. So I got 3 guys left. Let me go ahead and take the number down too as well. These will be the last 3 because I know this will take us over our time. Give me 1 second. Take this off. Give me 1 second, fellas. 1 second. Take that off. And take the number off. So we got 3 guys left. All right, next up. All right. Insanity or genius? The Ravens off-season plan. What are your thoughts?
Hey, what's going on, Coach? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine. I hear you fine.
Oh, great. You might have seen me before on your comments. This is Julian. I think this is my first time calling in about 2 or 3 years.
Okay, I appreciate you.
Yeah. So, well, first, thank you for always being here for all of us. You've created such a big community, so just wanted to thank you for that, Coach, before answering the question. So appreciate you always.
I appreciate you for being a part of that community, man. Steady trying to grow it, and for those that have been here for a while, man, it's humbling to be able to reach out to people that I've never even seen, to just have a common denominator as far as the Ravens and just talk ball, man, and have a good time.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, so definitely part of that. And so I think, I kind of like a lot of the other callers before, I think it's the process has been insanity. Just, considering who we've had at quarterback for the past, how many, 8, 9 years now, which is kind of crazy. It's like we've almost had a decade of Lamar. And to think that we haven't put the pieces around him, especially receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so just, you made a point, Coach, that we've had in terms of playmakers in the game against the Buffalo Bills last year, Anthony Miller, Steven Sims, Tylan Wallace, and Nelson Aguilar when our first 2 guys went down. And you think about every other Super Bowl that came through before, you got A.J. Brown, Saquon, Devontae, Travis Kelce, Cooper Kupp, Mike Evans, Tyreek Hill, and no one else that I think really stands up to that. No one in our team that I just named before really stands up to that caliber. So there's that issue, and then we talked about the offensive line as well, trying to really make it piecemeal. And with all that said, it's just it's kind of infuriating for us who put so much time and faith into the team, and then we're so close. We have the one piece that needs to be there, which is the superstar quarterback, but we can't put the pieces around to protect him. And I think the Ravens have to realize, too, the NFL has changed. Of course, it's great to have a really strong defense, but you need to have someone who can reliably get turnovers and sacks and receiving touchdowns. And while we have the quarterback, we don't have the people who can help him around that. So I have to say at this point, Coach, it's a little bit of the process is insane. TBD for this year, but I'm kind of expecting more of the same, unfortunately.
You said all great points that we need. They put so much on Lamar plate that he's not allowed to make mistakes in the big game. Yes, he made some mistakes in that game versus the Bills, but then he corrected himself, and then other people failed. It's to the point where if Lamar doesn't play perfect in the big games, we don't win, and that's not fair. Jared Goff had a game where he threw 5 interceptions. They still won the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That's crazy. At some point, you got to put. I ain't gonna say equal playmaking because Lamar is 1 of 1, but you got to put a higher level of playmakers around him. And Derrick Henry is the first guy that they've gave him that's at a comparable playmaking level next to him. And Derrick Henry has to have a good O-line for him to work. He has to. A decent O-line. And it's you just got to constantly add, because like you said, look at Jalen Hurts. Look at what Jalen Hurts got. Jalen Hurts got 2 number 1s. He got Saquon Barkley and the best O-line. When the Rams won the Super Bowl, had Odell Beckham, Cooper Kupp, a good running back, and a decent O-line. Pat Mahomes, when he win, he got playmakers out the wazoo. When Pat Mahomes don't have a good O-line, look what happens. You see what the Eagles did to him. You see what the Bucs did to him when he don't have a good O-line. Put good talent around the good quarterback and watch it flourish. Stop trying to be cheap. Exactly. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're all good, Coach. I agree with all those points too. Just looking at just the time as well. That's just on one side of the ball with our superstar quarterback. But then you think about, I just realized too, we're going to year 5. That's almost half a decade of Odafe Owe as our hopes and dreams.
Right.
I'm just thinking especially with this Super Bowl that we just watched, you got Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, Jalen Carter, who's going to get a bag next year. and we're still hoping on this guy who didn't have any production in college. We need to have someone who has reliable production. And we keep on trying to get these guys who have all this potential, or they can be these superstars, but they haven't showed it in college. And on top of that too, I mean, other than Chuck Smith, I can't really rely on the position coaching as well to really get these guys up to speed and be the people that we need them to be.
100%. Hey, now I didn't know much about Chuck before he got to Baltimore, but what he's done at Baltimore, I have the utmost admiration for him, because he took some guys that were, I don't even know if these balls were ball of clay. They were balls of poop, and have turned them into names, that respectable names. And I have the utmost respect for Chuck Smith, because he has taken some, like, let me see, off the Coast University, Kyle Van Noy was pretty much done. Jadavian Clowney was pretty much done. Those guys have gotten bags off of it. And now he's turned over into a 10-sack guy. Travis Jones is a force in the middle. Matter BK got $100 million because of Chuck Smith. Tavius Robinson is a guy that I didn't think I would get anything out of. Is a guy I'm highly up on. So I love Chuck Smith. I believe in Chuck Smith, and I believe you bring anybody in with a smidget of talent, Chuck can turn them into something. I look for a big year, not maybe 10 sacks, but I look for a big year out of Adisa Isaac this year after a year of Chuck Smith.
Yeah, me too. I think Adisa can get us, if he stays healthy, gives us 4 or 5. And I want to be respectful of the time too, Coach. So I'll try to make my last points here. So, I mean, just imagine, I've seen some like mock drafts where James Pierce drafts to us. If you get James Pierce in the room with Chuck Smith, 10+ sacks. I promise it if that happens. So we'll see how the draft board falls. I think I totally agree with you on the D-Hop too. He's a superstar that's kind of on his last legs in the NFL, but he's going to be a great locker room presence for Rashad Bateman. So hopefully we can get someone else in the first 3 rounds to be in the room. And just kind of go on your point of insanity. I'm tired of being a Netflix football team, Coach. I'm tired of looking forward to next season. I'm not trying to look forward to next season. It's this season. So that's all I got to say. So thank you for your time, Coach, and excited to hear everyone else.
Before you go, I just want to make sure I heard that right. You said if James Pierce falls to us, he's going to have 10 sacks as a rookie. That's what you said.
Easy. 10 sacks, easy.
Gotcha. I got it. We're going to clip that. Somebody clip that one. Clip that one. We're going to clip that one. If he falls to us, and he potentially could fall to us, clip that one. So I appreciate you, and that's a great hot take, and we're going to remember that one for the whole season. I appreciate it. Thank you for calling in, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach.
No problem. Have a good one. All right, next up, my man P. Brown. P, what's good, big dog?
What's going on, Coach? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you loud and clear. What's good with you? Insanity or genius? The Ravens' off-season free agency strategy. What you got for me today?
All right, so I've been sitting here rehearsing this. It's neither one, man.
Okay.
You know what it is? It's Ravens.
Explain.
It's Ravens. Right. For how many years have we sat back and watched the Ravens, when it comes to free agency, do the same thing? Within like EDC's era, we've had a couple of splashes like Marcus Peters. Was that a big splash? He played well for us, for sure. But that wasn't like oh my God, the Ravens got blah 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 blah, kind of splash. They don't make big splashes in the first round of free agency, and I can understand why, because I'm listening to other YouTubers and everybody, pundits, talk about that first wave of free agency, man, and some people got paid that just shouldn't have got paid.
True.
I mean, these owners and GMs was throwing money out the window like they had, like they was printing it on the football field, and it was like, hey, come get some. A lot of people shouldn't have got paid. Now, they definitely need to make some more moves. I was watching a lot of D-Hop. Honestly, Coach, and I know the chat might tell me I'm not impressed.
Well, I like the D-Hop more of a D-Hop is in case of emergency break glass. I don't expect D-Hop to come in and have 1,000 yards. I like the D-Hop signing for mentorship. And if some S pop off we got D-Hop. That's why
I'm good with that.
That's why.
If we can see if that's what he can do, and if that's what he can be, that's cool. Now, I don't know any factual stuff.
Honestly, Pete,
just stuff that
I think D-Hop gonna be wide receiver 4.
And that's what I was going to say, because I still think they still need to go get somebody else that's in free agency. Mm-hmm. Now, again, Coach, I don't know much, but just the other day I was listening to some other, actually today I was listening to, I don't mind if you mind me saying their name, but them people that got the bank show, Sarah and Bobby. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were comparing D-Hop, Cooper Kupp, and Amari Cooper, and literally just from the fact of how they know the Ravens think, they was like, the Ravens going to sign D-Hop probably eventually. And literally, their show come on at 11, and at 6-something, they signed them the same day. Right. Like it's the Ravens thing. Let's go find that big name veteran that's pretty much on the back end of their career.
Say older big name veteran.
Right, exactly. Older, and they're damn near 35. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's what they do. The only reason they signed Odell last year is because they was trying to sign LJ. That's it. All right, let me ask you this real quick, Coach. Mm-hmm. If that year that we had OBJ, if he'd have had 80 catches, over 1,000 yards, and 10 TDs, do you think they'd have signed him to an extension?
Honestly, I don't, because he already had void years.
Exactly.
I don't. I think he had already pulled them as far as he was gonna pull them. Like they'd been like, look, you got what you got out of us.
That's it. He could have had an amazing, oh damn, that's the Odell of old. Oh, the Ravens don't re-sign Odell Beckham. Of course not. They wasn't planning on to.
He had stretched them honestly, he was going to stretch them.
Exactly. With production or without the production. I still think I did a little bit of research. I'm not like, you guys on YouTube, whatever. But I was looking at some of the free agency guys, and you can tell me if I'm on a good end or a bad end. I would like to go for them to go get Tyler Lockett. And the only reason I say that is
no. But go ahead. I'll tell you why I say no. Go ahead.
The only reason I say that, Tyler Lockett, outside of 1 catch, 6 TDs, and maybe 100 or so yards, he had the same production as our so-called number 2 wide receiver.
Bateman?
Yep. The same numbers. Bateman caught 1 more catch than him, had 6 more touchdowns than him, and 100 and so yards more than him. That's it. That's it, Coach. That's it. So I'm like, okay, Bate or Zay go down. This dude got to be the number 3 or the number 4. Okay, cool. We can pretty much get the same production. I don't know how, I don't know if Tyler Lockett is injury prone or anything like that. I haven't done that much research. Mm-hmm. And then I said, well, okay, let's look at Wallace. Again, I know this is small, but Wallace had 12 targets, 11 catches, 1 TD. If he get more production, will he be more productive? Could he come in and be a number 4?
So if he get more opportunities? Huh? If he get more opportunities?
Right. If they give him more opportunities, for every 12 catches, you catch 11. I can deal with that. Give him 45 targets.
And he can catch
right. You see what I'm saying? But I think they need to bolster that room one way or the other. Even if they do get another veteran, they still need to try to draft somebody within maybe 3 or 4, right? Or if somebody just happened to fall to them. Because right now, who they have under contract? Bate, Zay, and Tez.
That's it.
That's it, really. And the
Nuke
the
now?
one guy who
Nuke and
D-Hop now.
And
what's the guy? Sims or something? Did they sign Sims or Miller or somebody?
Miller. I think it's Miller. Miller, number
Did
6.
they sign him or did they put him to a future contract, one of them type of deals?
I think
Or they
that's still
actually signed him?
future contract. I think it's still signing.
Oh,
That's
okay.
still signing.
I mean, and he not gonna see no game time. He might be a punt returner or
I don't even think
that's
but I think
exactly.
I think he earned a shot though because he played decently down the stretch.
Oh, he definitely played decent down in the stretch.
Decent.
But now he might be that in case of emergency break glass.
Right. Exactly.
Type of thing. You know what I mean? But I mean, these moves are Raven-esque. I heard the one caller talking about Falele. Look, Ravens fans, like you said, Coach, that dude ain't going nowhere. Now, are they going to pay him next year? No, they're going to let him walk.
Right.
I think they're going to let him walk. Do they draft somebody to try to replace him this year? They probably will draft somebody. They definitely going to draft O-line, whether it's a tackle, guard, whatever. They're probably going to double dip. I really think because of the picks they have, I think they're going to triple dip, really, when they come to the O-line. Honestly.
That'd be nice.
If there's somebody drop in the first round, they're probably going to take somebody.
Mm-hmm.
They probably won't in the second round because then they're going to start looking for pass rusher or corner in the second round. But then I think once you start getting down to the fourth and the fifth round, that's when they're going to start double or triple dipping when it comes to the O-line. I think that's what they'll do. But even in the preseason, just like last preseason, Falele can look worse than he did last preseason. When they name the starters, his name's gonna be there. That's his bottom line.
100%.
That's his bottom line.
100%.
The only other guard position I think that's really open is left.
Yeah, right. I think left on the spot that's gonna have a competition.
Exactly. That's it. And is it going to be decent competition? Because Harbaugh don't really like playing rookies.
Right.
That's his first round, second round, not even third round.
Agree.
You know what I mean? And then this is my last take. Ravens don't draft well with wide receivers. I honestly think the luck that we've had with Marquise Brown, who has to be traded out, and I'm not going to say Bateman maybe, but Zay for sure. I think with those two picks, that was under the influence of Lamar, honestly. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I say that is because, and I said this on your show before, I like Hollywood. He's an okay receiver. But in that same draft, we could have had A.J. Brown or D.K. Metcalf. I'm just saying. That's why I think that pick was under the influence. Oh, my God, bro. They could have got both of them because DK didn't get picked until what, second or third?
Yeah. I'm like Evan. I think DK overrated a little bit, but I think he would have.
Man, he ain't worth no $150 million. I know that.
Hell no.
He ain't worth no $150 million. He ain't worth $150 million. So if that's what he was looking for, he got it from them idiots up, our neighbors.
Right.
Hey, more power to you. But who you gonna have throwing him the ball? But anyway, yeah, that's why that's one of the guys I think got overpaid. $150 million for how many Pro Bowls he been to?
I don't even know.
But I mean, right? During the season on any kind of ratings, do you hear about DK Metcalf?
Never.
Popping up? Never.
He'll explode for 125 every now and again, but
exactly.
Never.
Oh, he had that big play where the guy intercepted the ball and he ran him down. Yeah. Okay. You saved the touchdown because your quarterback got the ball intercepted. Big freaking deal.
Right.
But that's my thoughts, Coach. It's neither genius or crazy. It's what we should expect as Ravens fans. If EDC make a move on free agency in the first day, we all need to drive down to the bank and make sure to check his blood pressure. Something wrong. There's something wrong.
I appreciate you, P. Let me get
Coach.
that damn dub on. I appreciate you people calling in, man. This is my man P. Brown.
No problem. Appreciate you too,
through.
Coach.
He allowed us, me, Lunch Break Hot Take, and Hendo to call him P. Brown for damn near a whole year before we realized it was P. Brown III. So I appreciate you. The Truth just came through with 10. He says, we don't draft well. Hollywood, Bate, and Zay good receivers too. To me, anyways, D-Hop a Raven. Definitely. D-Hop's a Raven. And somebody just said, Evan just said D-Hop's going to be a good influence for Tez too. I like that. I like that take as well. I think not only D-Hop going to bring his playmaking ability, his hands, his nuance to the position, his influence over them young cats is going to be huge. His influence over Zay, over Tez, over Bateman is going to be huge. Genius or insanity? That damn Dub. What you think about the EDC and the Ravens front office approach to free agency?
I tell you what, Coach, it's good to be back. But finally, the Baltimore Ravens have proven themselves to be just as idiotic as we've all thought they've been for so long. All these names have gone off the board. O-linemen, D-linemen, pass rush, quality DBs, and we settle on another over the hill. And no disrespect to D-Hop, he can still be productive, but he's not what this offense needs. We need protection for our top flight quarterback. We need pass rush to get to other quarterbacks, help our secondary, and what do? A typical Ravens move. Spend pennies on a bargain bin deal for a receiver that's over 30 years old, not a downfield threat, not a speed burner. He's a quality route runner still, but that's not what we need. We don't have problems with our route running. We have problems protecting our running back and making plays down the field to open up the box for Henry and Lamar in the run game. We still have Roger Rosengarten, don't know what he's going to be. We still have Andrew Voorhees, don't know what he's going to be yet. We still have a leaky offensive line, and we think getting the over-the-hill, salary dump kind of receiver is going to help this offense. Again, it's no disrespect to D-Hop. He was a great receiver in his prime. He's a quality locker room guy, quality presence for the young guys. I get all of that. Those are all valid points. We need to protect Lamar. We're going to hang on to Mark Andrews. If we cut him, we clear up $11.5 million in cap space. They're going to bring him back and then cry wolf at the end of the season. We didn't have money to do the things we wanted to do. You mark my word. Now, last offseason, we heard EDC at training camp say, well, this year is going to be a struggle for the offensive line, but next year we're going to be sitting pretty, I think. I can't tell. Y'all ain't done nothing to pass up the O-line. What y'all going to do, waste one of them back-end draft picks on the offensive linemen? Man, I'm sick of Eric DeCosta. But again, I've been crying this for the last 4 or 5 years. This all go back to John Harbaugh. He don't really want to go all in on investing on Lamar because he know Lamar saved his job. And the minute we get over the hump and win, Harbaugh ain't going to get no credit. Lamar been getting all the criticism, and when we win, they know Lamar going to get all the credit for winning. I'm sick of this front office, man. I'm telling you, they're going to end up losing some faithful fans. And I'm just not just talking about me. It's some real fans that's tired of the same old pattern being repeated. When are we going to fully invest in our quarterback? Look what the Chicago Bears are doing for Caleb Williams. Overnight, they done overhauled that whole roster to dedicate to building around him on his rookie deal. We still ain't gave Lamar proper support and help. Man, it's not genius. It's not insane. It's like the last caller just said, the typical Raven move. We're not going to spend no big money on a quality player. We're going to get a name for a cheap tag and hope that it soothes over the fan base. We don't want to look like we're sitting and doing nothing, so we're going to make a little cheap move to hush up the guys at the end of the bar, like Harbaugh say. Man, I can't wait till these fools get off my team. I'm sick of EDC. I'm sick of Harbaugh. They are the ones holding this team back, and I'm going to cry that on the top of the mountain until y'all knock me off of that mountain. Y'all got to prove to me that this front office is not what's holding Lamar and this roster back from winning. Pittsburgh done got another one of our backup linebackers. I know that's not a big needle mover, but the thing is, now that, we our depth at linebacker is already thin. Y'all gave Roquan $100 million. Matabike $90-some million. You gave Marcus Williams $100-some million just to release him because he wasn't productive. They put all this funding into the defense and leave Lamar out there naked for him to face the criticism of this team's failures alone. No one gets held accountable but Lamar Jackson. And I'm sick of it, man. If y'all going to leave him to get held accountable and hung by the damn media, why don't you help him? This don't really hurt Lamar or the offense, but it don't help him in the way that it needs to help him.
This is just a reliable, like you was just saying, wide receiver 4 at best. When are they going to give him a legitimate wide receiver 1? Not a small Zay Flowers, not an often injured Rashad Bateman, a legitimate wide receiver 1 with some size and productivity. Man, the good Lord been working on me. I done gave my life back to God. I'm trying not to cuss, but they going to make me backtrack. I'm telling you.
Backtrack.
Now, y'all watch. When we open the season and the same problems are going on, the same problems hit us when we play a good team, y'all going to see Lamar doesn't have a downfield threat to open up the offense. They're like, come on, man. They can't protect Lamar. It's just Lamar ball. Lamar has to run around and create plays for this stagnant offense. Every year in the playoffs.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Woos off for 1 second. Woos off for 1 second. First, do you agree with this? I'm gonna get to it in just a second, Truth. So will you agree with me and say there's not a lot of holes on the team? So let's just say we have four or less holes on the team. Is that a semi sort of factual
statement? I don't think I can agree with that as we presently stand, Coach. The offensive line is two on the O-line. Depleted.
2 on the O-line.
3. Who's our right tackle? Falele?
Our right tackle is Rosengardner.
I mean, guards. So both guards and tackle. Rosengardner is good. He came on late last season. He had a pretty good
I don't count
year.
Rosengardner as a whole. I think Rosengardner gonna be all right. Ryan is back, so I would say I'll give you the 2 guards. I'll give you the 2 guards.
Okay.
I think the other off-ball linebacker is an issue, and I think
our linebacker room looks pretty dry right now.
I think safety. The other safety and the other corner is an issue, and maybe a third receiver is an issue right now. So let's just say that's 5.
Mm-hmm.
We got 11 picks. So let's just say we hit on 3 of the 11 picks. So now we got 2.
You trust your general manager to hit on them picks?
3 of 11 ain't bad. I'm
I'm
below the Mendoza line if I'm playing baseball.
You trust him to hit on them 3 picks?
3 of 11, yes. That ain't a lot, Doug. If I'm playing baseball, if I play baseball and I get 3 hits and 11 at bats, I'm barely in the lineup.
You got about 297, 270 something. You right under 300.
I'm right under 300. I'm average.
That's not bad. I'm sick of average though. We need to hit some home runs, Coach. What we gonna get a top like that we know
I'm
is
just
a
being devil's
difference maker.
advocate. I'm being devil's advocate.
Uh-huh.
I'm just saying. I feel like he do. So let's just say he hit on 5 of them. We good.
When the last
if he hit
time
on 5 of them.
That's a big if because we ain't got no track record of that man nailing no draft like that, man.
I agree. I'm just being devil's advocate. I ain't saying he is. I ain't saying he ain't. I'm just trying to get you to see. Maybe I'm being devil's advocate for the moment. I ain't saying he is. I ain't saying he ain't. I'm giving everybody the space to say their, to get a piece. So I ain't on neither side right now.
Yeah, and I don't love the move. I don't hate the move. Like my man just said before me, this is a typical, predictable, safe Ravens move. But when we get to the playoffs and we can't score, we can't protect Lamar, Linderbaum is snapping the ball over his head, and Lamar's left to blame for a fumble that he wasn't even the root cause for. I can see if he's running around trying to make a play and he just loses the ball. Our line has sabotaged Lamar in just about every playoff appearance we've had. When are they going to address that?
True.
The playoff game against the Titans we lost. We couldn't protect Lamar, but dropped them back 60 times.
True that.
Like, I don't know, man.
Actually, the game, not even Lamar, the game we lost to the Bengals, even though Snoop did that stupid move, the O-line was the issue.
Probably should have won that game.
Sure should have.
Man, I don't know, man. It's like the Ravens just don't want to step out of the 90s and early 2000s and get with the times and really be able to air these teams out, because when we get to the playoffs, that's like the exception. When we get to the playoffs, the defense isn't why we lose games. Could they be better in spots? Yes, it's like you always say. You don't need a great defense to win. You need a defense to be great in spots to win. Mm-hmm. I hear you say that all the time. You need to be great in spots. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Situational defense.
Unless you get 27 pressures and don't blitz.
Right.
Like the Eagles did.
But our thing is, we get to the playoffs and forget how to score points and put drives together. During the regular season against good teams, we look great. Go back to a couple years ago when we dog-walked the Lions, the 49ers on Christmas, the Texans. We look good during the regular season, but in the playoffs, when the chips is down and people got more film, an extra week to prepare for you, that's when the Ravens offense backtracks and looks like they can't put a drive together. They can't stay on the field. They can't work the clock. They can't work field position and time of possession. I don't know, man. I'm my faith in this team, not because of the players, but because of the management and coaching is dwindling day by day by day. And the only one that's going to get their feet held to the fire is the easy-to-blame, low-hanging fruit, Lamar Jackson. And this is not even me apologizing for Lamar defending him. It just is what it is. I got Steelers fans that are part of my friend circle that be like, man, bro, we hate y'all, but we know that Lamar ain't to blame for why y'all can't get a Super Bowl. I wish we had him. I wish we would have drafted him. Ooh. I'm like, man, I don't know what to say at that point because even our ops know that Lamar is that deal and he ain't to be played with. But we sabotage him week in and week out, and it's turning into year in and year out now. Like he was just saying, we almost had a decade of Lamar. We ain't got nothing to show for it.
Yep. Since 2019, it's 2025. It's about to be year 7.
Come on, man. And all of these guys are going off the board. Like, we could have had guys last year. The safety, Justin Simmons, we could have had him. They rolled the dice back with Marcus Williams. Like, it's so much that could be done, but they are so fixated on doing things the Raven way. They think they zigging when the league is zagging, when y'all should have zagged with the rest of the damn league.
True that.
They can't get out their own way, man. And the fans at the end of the bar that don't know nothing are the ones that got to face public scrutiny from other fan bases. Harbaugh is too safe. EDC is too safe. So that brings me to the ultimate blame, Steve Bisciotti. You keep paying these men these checks for constantly setting back this franchise. What are y'all doing? Now they're going to hang on to Mark Andrews. I think they overpaid for Ronnie Stanley. I get bringing him back because we do have to stabilize some part of the line.
Back on that one. I got to push back. And the reason I push back on that one, because if we ain't got Ronnie, now we 3/5 of an O-line. Horrible. And
that's true. That's true.
And that's having Ronnie up
signing
there
him does
is
stabilize.
Invaluable. He's stable, like you said.
Signing him back does stabilize Lamar's backside. I just don't think for the price tag and his injury history, I think we might have overpaid.
Ain't no price tag for stabilization to me. That's just my opinion. Not saying you're wrong. It's just my 2 cents. Ain't no price tag on stabilization.
And I get it because there really was no one available that was better than him, and you don't want to go with another young piece on the O-line.
Another rookie or Rosengarten on that side. I'd much rather have Ronnie there. Even if it was. Keep in mind, Dub, we was talking about it before you came on. The price tag this year ain't but like $1 million or something. Like maybe like $3 million. It ain't a lot this year. Overall, it's a big price tag.
A lot of things. It's a lot of contracts we can rework. It's still a lot of contracts and money we can move around to clear up space. So I'm not all the way down on the Ronnie move. His injury history just really scares me, man. It really does. At his age and him on a bad ankle, I don't know. But I'm going to hold out hope on Ronnie because he has proven himself. He had a solid year last year. So I get it.
I can't blame a man for betting on himself and winning. I can't blame a man for betting on himself and winning. So with that being said, Dub, I appreciate you, man. I got a few supers I got to get to, and I want to make sure I talk to them because they done donated they change in, man. I appreciate you, and it's always great talking to you, and we're going to do more of these call-in shows because I forgot how lit they get, especially with this off-season stuff that's going on, man. I appreciate you, man, and we'll talk to you soon, man, big dog. I appreciate you.
All love, Coach. Stay up, go Ravens, no matter what, baby.
Most def. We got a couple of supers I want to get to. I'm going to throw them back up there. While we talk about them. So one from the truth. Let me get to this first one.
Respect.
He says, overreacting. I think this is the one. Overreacting. We have 2 holes to fill on the O-line. And I'm assuming he's saying both guards. I'm assuming truth. Biggest need is pass rusher and getting any guards. Yeah. That's better than what we have. Who's at guard is Falele and Voorhees right now because Makari's gone, so we definitely gotta. And like I said, I don't think Falele is a starting caliber guard in the NFL, but the Ravens love that dude, and so he's going to be the starting right guard unless something drastic happens. Unless he pulls a Ben Cleveland and go gets a DUI or something like that, Falele is going to be the starting right guard. And even if he get a DUI, he might be the starting right guard. The next one, Truth had another one. He says, let me find it. Here it is. He's got 5.
It's a respect thing.
Yeah, so D-Hop isn't an upgrade from Nelly, Tez, and Tyler. I'm confused. So I think D-Hop is an upgrade. And I don't know if he was talking to me or maybe the caller. I think D-Hop is an upgrade from Nelly and Tyler. I don't think he'll be an upgrade from the Tez that we're going to see this year. I think he's an upgrade from Tez of last year because Tez was learning NFL and getting his stuff together. The Tez that we're going to see this year, I don't think he will be an upgrade from. And that's just me going out on a limb saying that. There's nothing that I've seen that says Tez has been putting in this incredible amount of work that he's developing to this great number 3 receiver or whatever. That's me assuming that year 1 to year 2, Tez is going to be better than year 14 or whatever this year is for Nuke. I just think Tez is going to be better than Nuke this year. But I think Nuke is going to have a significant role in actually making Tez a better receiver. Honestly, I do. And then last one is from H. Brassy. He dropped 10. Let me pull it up there 1 second.
Respect.
H. Brassy dropped 10. He says, dude on the call is just yapping, pure emotionalism. Zay is the number 1. We only have a few holes, like you said, and Lamar doesn't need a public defender. The man is the first ballot Hall of Famer. Stop whining. So let me break this down. Dude on the call is yapping. That's that damn Dub. You can take that up with him. You know, the thing is, the phone calls are for people to say their opinion, and this situation is an opinion-based thing. So that's why I let people get their opinions and their thoughts off. I try to never really say it's like, hey, you're wrong, because some people see things one way and I may see it another. So I never come out and say, hey, you're wrong, like some other people. Like I don't even come out and say, hey, I'm right. I just say what I say, and if you agree with it, fine. If you don't, fine. You'll never come in and say, hey, I'm right, and tell you you're absolutely wrong. Because the thing with me is, if I feel like I'm right and you completely disagree with me, I ain't gonna belittle you. I'm just gonna, in my mind, I'm gonna feel like I'm right. I'm gonna let you get your rocks off. I'm gonna let you get. And now, if I disagree with you, I'm gonna tell you why. But it ain't gonna be no, hey, I'm right, you wrong, and I'm gonna try to belittle you. It's just, I don't do like that. That's you don't have healthy conversation like that. And this is a sports space. I feel like we can come together, talking about sports, and we can agree to disagree on sports stuff because we see stuff a different way. Zay is the wide receiver 1. I think Zay is wide receiver 1 because of targets. But if we look at the body composition and what a wide receiver 1 should be and should do, I think that's Bateman. But I think Zay, in production wise, is a wide receiver 1. But in the way a wide receiver 1 should handle himself as far as how he fits in the offense, I think that's Bateman. But Zay, production wise, has been wide receiver 1. I will say that. And as far as like you, and I do agree with you, Lamar don't need a public defender. He's the first ballot Hall of Fame. I agree with that. And then the stop whining part, like I said, I don't get into that stuff. I let people say what they gonna say. Even when they talk about me, I just let them say what they gonna say. So it is what it is, though. But hey, that is what it is, man. So I appreciate y'all, man. We will have more of these call-in shows. So that will say this: people that are just listening, don't be afraid to call in. Like I ain't gonna bite nobody's head off unless you just disrespectful to me. And even if you disrespectful in the chat, I'll try to nip that in the bud. But the thing is, just be respectful. I'll let you say what you got to say, and if you ask me a question, I'll try to explain the way I feel about it. But I just like the conversation of talking ball, man. And the topic of today was, do you agree or disagree with the approach for the Ravens? And again, don't be afraid to call in. It is what it is. We just talking ball, and just like y'all talking in the chat, we can talk it, to me, and you can just say what you need to say, and again, just don't be afraid, man. We may have another one Thursday. We may have another one Thursday. It just depends on what happens between now and Thursday. And again, you see how on this live D-Hop news broke, and we had Ing Raven on here when the D-Hop news broke. So I appreciate y'all, man. If you have not hit that like button, please do so. We got 125 in here right now. We got 96 likes, so I would appreciate if we can hit that like button before you get up out of here. We can hit 100 likes before we leave. I appreciate everybody that dropped super chats or donated, and that is I want to send a shout out to those guys as well. Who did that? That is H. Brassy, The Truth 3 times. Quinn V, Rave Kingdom dropped 2, said he missed the call again, just got off work. D-Hop, yes. Let me see one more thing for y'all before we get up out of here. I got one more thing for you. 1 second while y'all go tap that like button. If I can find it. Where is it? There it is. I want to show y'all a little love. Show y'all some love for the people that donated. I think that's it. All right, so for the people that donated, you get your name rolling through the screen. We got the super chats for Quinn V, The Truth, Rave Kingdom, H. Brassy. And again, man, that's, we locked in, man. I appreciate y'all for coming through. And on that note, man, we up out of here. I appreciate y'all. See y'all tomorrow. Don't forget to tune in with me and Chris, Draft Junkies. We're going to be talking running backs.
Okay, I'm locked in. Every single day I be locked in. Focused all the way, man, I'm locked in. From the time I wake, I be locked in. I don't need no break. Okay. Let's play. Okay. Let's play. I say ain't nothing but my grind on my mind. See, we started with nothing, then we climb, then we gonna keep bucking till we finally shine. Indeed, I keep them ducking, baby, time after time. I say ain't nothing but my grind on my mind. See, we started with nothing, then we climb, then we gonna keep bucking till we finally shine. Indeed, I keep them ducking, baby, time after time. I said it's getting hotter out that flame I came. They try to stop me, straight up block me through that pain. I've gained a newer way, pursue my rays. Look, I don't cry no more. I just load up my mind and let my grind go show. Cause I'm locked in. Every single day I be locked in.